Are we live?
Think we're live.
I think we're live.
Yep, we are live.
We're live. Hi, runners and walkers. My name's Leah. I'm here with Jeff McBain. You guys all know him because you're in our Facebook group. So we're here and we're talking race day, pretty much race day everything, right, Jeff?
Yes.
Okay.
Race day, every question that you may have that has not been answered yet through the group or through email.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, comment them. We're pretty much answering anything you've got. We'll just start talking about race day. And Jeff, how many times have you run Detroit so far?
I've ran the full marathon once and the international twice.
Okay. So, and what race are you running this year?
I'm running the Supreme Challenge this year.
Okay, so you're going to be running the full again.
Yes.
Okay, how are you feeling? Are you feeling good for another full marathon?
I'm feeling a bit tired from training.
Okay.
Just a little bit. I'll be glad when race day is finally here.
Okay, yeah, we're probably all feeling a little bit tired from training. It was a hot summer too.
Yeah, that didn't help much with training.
No, but luckily it's cooling down. So we've already ordered perfect race day weather. So don't worry about weather at all. Let us worry about that.
Was that UPS or FedEx?
I think FedEx this year.
FedEx
yeah,
is going to
UPS lost our weather last year, but FedEx for sure.
Okay. Make sure we track that so we know it's on the way.
Yes, for sure, tracking the weather. So let's talk Expo. Day one of Expo. What should I be doing? Where should I be going? What should I be paying attention to?
So I think day one of Expo opens at 2 on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
You want to, if you're running the challenge, you want to make sure to go to the challenge booth.
For sure.
That way you can get everything you need and you don't have to go to the 1 mile, the 5K, international half marathon, or full marathon to get all your stuff. It should all be at one spot. You want to make sure to bring your passport or enhanced driver's license. This will help get you your race packet information. You need to be there to get your race packet information. You can't have somebody else do that for you.
Yeah, or a passport card works too. So anything that would normally get you across the border works for our race.
Right, and that's very important that you are there to pick up the information. I do know for the challenge, the Supreme Challenge, and I also believe the Wonder as well, you need to pick up your race packet on Friday.
Yes.
You can't pick it up on Saturday and you can't pick it up on Sunday.
Yeah, and that's because if you're running that international race, you have to show your international credential. So even though Temptation runners can pick up their Saturday bibs on site on Saturday, but we don't have any border patrol there. So that's why you'll need that Saturday bib to go run in Saturday, but you need to come Friday because that's where the border agents are. And you'll show your passport, enhanced license, or passport card to them and then get all your stuff on Friday.
Right. And also, too, at the Expo, we will have a separate booth for shirt exchange.
Yes. Yep. This year, so we're going to have a whole new section for shirt exchange. So previously we've done a few things where you'll exchange your shirt in Concord or afterwards, but this year we're actually doing shirt exchange at the Expo. So if you want a different size, need a different size, or even just want to exchange it for an event or something like that, you'll go to the very back of the Expo. So you're going to get your size what you ordered, and then you're going to take it to the shirt exchange area in the back, and that's where you'll go exchange it for whatever size you want.
Right, and to clarify, the back of the Expo is at the very...
It's like the entrance of the Expo.
At the entrance of the Expo, okay.
Yeah, so if you haven't been to our Expo, it's at Cobo Center. Friday hours are 2 till 8. You're going to go to Hall B, but don't worry, just follow all the people, you'll get there. And then you're going to walk all the way back. The first stop is to pick up your bib, your shirt. There's an information booth there. That's where if you need to exchange your corral, you can do that. You meet our pacers, and then you're going to walk through the New Balance area. So it's fun to come on Friday because that's when they have all the gear. And then you're going to walk through, and then you exit where you entered, and that's where shirt exchange is on our countdown clock, and you can take some fun pictures and stuff like that.
Right, and it's good you mentioned the gear as well because I know from previous years that as the Expo time goes on, they do sell out of a lot of different sizes or a lot of different shirts and different gear. So if you are looking to purchase something specific, make sure to get there as soon as possible.
Like the Underwater Mile shirt that you're so proudly wearing, which we do have this year. It's a whole new style. So we try to stock or New Balance tries to stock everything they can, but unfortunately sizes do sell out just because they go so quick, and the underwater mile shirts this year are so cool. So highly suggest going on Friday to get one.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I picked mine up at the expo last year because I know that they sold out and everybody's been wanting them. I've received questions from Facebook groups from other people. It's definitely one of the hot t-shirt items to get this year.
It's for sure a hot commodity. Like, you go there, you pick up your bib, and then you get your underwater mile shirt.
Yep.
Yeah, you for sure have to. So that's a lot of Expo. Are we missing anything on Expo?
Where will be the race ambassadors?
The race ambassadors, good point. So our 16 race ambassadors are going to be staffing our information booth. So information's where you go if you have to change your corral, you have questions about pretty much anything. And so or if you want to just meet our race ambassadors, they're there chatting with runners all day.
Right, and so they will also be able to help direct you for questions about where do I go, what do I need, and general race questions as well.
And they're so good if, like, you're a first-time runner, or if this is your first big race and you're a little nervous about things, or you're not sure how things work, and you kind of just want to talk through some things. A race ambassador is a great person to see, just because the volunteers can answer pretty much any question. But if you're worried about, hey, I've been training in these shoes, but I'm feeling these shoes, go talk with a race ambassador. That's what they love. They're going to talk with you for, as long as you want. So just stop by, see them. They're awesome people, and they'll just make sure that you're pretty much ready for everything.
Right, and from previous experience as a former race ambassador, it is very great as an ambassador to be able to talk to runners and to be able to help them out. And very friendly, very great group of people this year that we've got going for us.
And yes, we unfortunately do know we're sideways, but we're just practicing our neck stretches. Those are really good for in the starting corral. So I think you go left twice and then right twice, and then and that's pretty good stretching for race day.
Right, especially for people that are always sitting down at their desk and they need a good exercise to help get them loosened up.
So when you're watching this, that's why we're sideways. But just stretch your neck a little bit and we'll be good.
Yeah, we're here to help you.
Yeah. There you go. That's it. Okay, so we talked about Expo Saturday. Saturday's our 5K, our 1 mile, and our kids' fun run. So let's talk about that.
Right. So the timing of all the races, how does that all work?
So our 1 mile is at 9 o'clock. So that will be in Milliken State Park. Then our 5K is at 9:30, and then our kids' fun run is at 11. So all of them start in that Milliken State Park area. We do have specific parking information on each of those pages. So if you go to our website and go to our 5K page or our 1 mile page, it has all the parking info on there, because we do have some different lots for Saturday events. But Saturday is shaping up to be a really fun day.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it myself. I've run the 5K a few years as well. It's definitely a flat and fast course for those looking to get a PR. I've got my PR there a couple years ago.
So it's good luck.
Yeah, it's very good luck, and I expect the same thing for the mile, since the mile will be in the similar location as 5K.
Yep, very, very flat and fast. It's going to be a fast 1 mile. We're excited. Yeah. So Hannah's asking, same bib for 1 mile and 5K if you're doing a combo. So we should probably touch on bibs.
Yes.
So if you're doing a challenge race, so our Wonder or Supreme, that means that you're running both Saturday and Sunday. So when you go to the expo, you're going to get a Saturday bib. It's going to be a black bib, and that's going to be good for your 5K and your 1 mile. So you're going to wear that all Saturday. No need to change in between the 5K and 1 mile. Just wear that black bib. Then on Sunday, you're going to get your international half bib or your full marathon bib. So that's where you'll wear your red bib if you're an international half, or a green or a blue bib if you're a full marathoner.
See, now you brought up the blue and green.
Oh,
what is the difference between them?
So this is one of the funnest things. I love telling people this, because if you're a first-time full marathoner, you're going to get a green bib, which means you're a greenie. And that's so, well, it's also just like a fun color that you'll get something different, but that's so that all the volunteers and people that you'll interact with know you're a first-time marathoner. So expect some extra cheers, because truly, for some reason, like, all the spectators know, and all the volunteers know, so you're going to hear, like, good job, Greenie, keep it up, finish line, you're probably going to get a few extra hugs and high fives, so it's something special you'll get if you're a first-time full marathoner.
Right, and it definitely does help you go along the course when you do hear people cheer you on, especially if it is your first time, because all the support and encouragement that you can get will definitely help you get across the finish line.
Yeah. So that's bibs for the Wonder and the Supreme. And if you're running the Temptation, which is just the 5K and 1 mile, you're just going to be picking up that black bib. So that black bib is, again, for the 5K and 1 mile, and you'll just wear that bib. So afterwards, you're going to get, if you're running the Temptation, so you're going to run your 1 mile, then you're going to go run your 5K, and then you can pick up all of your medals near packet pickup. So you're going to pick up your 5K medal, your 1 mile medal, and then your challenge medal. Right. So you don't have to, like, run the 5K with a medal, unless you want to, I guess, which, you know, could be kind of fun. But we'll have all the medals there for you when you finish your race.
Okay, so they'll be running the 1 mile and then the 5K.
Yes.
What time frame will people have before, from the end of the 1 mile to the start of the 5K race?
So it's pretty much however fast you're going to finish your 1 mile. So that 1 mile is going to start at 9 o'clock. We are going to have a few different waves based on speed, but it's not going to take too long to clear everyone from the start line. So once you pretty much finish your 1 mile, do some warm up. We're going to have some fun activities. We're having tailgate activities for the Michigan State game. I feel like the staff's mostly state fans here.
Oh boy!
So it should be an interesting day. So we're gonna have some fun tailgate activities, hang out with your fellow runners, and then our 5K will start at 9:30. So that's when, like, depending how much time they'll have in between is based on that.
And then as far as continuing with the 1 mile and 5K, and then even the Kids Dash, there will be water and stuff at the finish line.
Yeah.
Will there be anything along the course?
Yep, we do have a fluid station along the course for the 5K.
Okay.
So we'll have fluids on the course for them too.
Okay, and that'll just be water or water?
I think it's water and Gatorade.
Okay.
So it's Abspure water and then lemon lime Gatorade.
Oh, good choice.
Yes. And it's like this new endurance formula, so it doesn't have like any added sugar. It's like a lighter formula. They've sent it out to like all the races, so I mean it's not like the soccer Gatorade that we used to pound.
Yeah, so that'll be something good if anybody's looking to have Gatorade during their 5K. I'm guessing it's the same flavor Gatorade for the half marathon and marathon?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all of our Sunday races will have, at the fluid stations, we'll have Abspure water, lemon lime Gatorade, and then we have 2 stations for Cliff Gel. And we do know the flavors now. So the flavors are chocolate, strawberry, and raspberry.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. So if you want to make a smoothie out of that, it feels like good smoothie flavors. But Run Detroit, the local run shop here, is our sponsor for those. So they're going to be providing all the Cliff shots. But all of our fluid information is listed on our website. So if you go to freakmarathon.com and search fluids, it's going to be a whole chart of what Sunday's fluid stations and where they are.
Okay, great. Even though that I know for a lot of runners, they probably would not want to try switching with the week to go for the new flavors, but at least we know what's available.
Yeah. Yep. So, and all 3 will be available at both stops.
Okay, great. And with the Sunday races, the important question that everybody asks.
Ooh, can I guess?
Ooh, go for it.
Do I have to run with my passport, Jeff?
I was going to go with parking. That is the top. That is the top.
The 2 greatest questions.
The 2 greatest questions.
Okay.
Yeah. So, do I need to run with a passport?
Yes, you do need to run with a passport.
Okay, and how?
Or a passport card, enhanced ID,
Yes.
whatever your international documentation is. But you do have to run with it. Don't make us say it again. You just have to run with it.
And I've also had people say that I've been lucky. I've never had been pulled off, and some people think that it's a myth that if they don't have it, they won't have to worry about any problem. So,
it's not a myth. No, you do have to have it. We are so lucky to have the 2 international crossings. the border agencies are one of our most valued partners, and you just have to carry your passport. It's the world we're living in today.
And how can people help themselves get across the border with the Border Patrol agencies?
Make sure that your bib is showing. So if it's cold and you're wearing extra layers, totally fine. But when you're crossing that bridge and coming back through the tunnel, there's going to be border agents mostly cheering you on, but they're also going to be saying, let's see your bib, let's see your bib. So if it's, on your side or kind of like underneath a sweatshirt, just make sure that they can clearly see your bib and you'll be fine. They don't pull everyone off. You don't need your passport stamped. Yep. I know some people do ask me, they're like, am I going to have to go through customs? You're not going through customs, but you do have to make sure that that bib is showing and that it's your bib and your bib is attached to the front of you and it's showing. And then you're good.
Yep, which is something good that was mentioned, is that the border agents do cheer you on as well.
Yeah.
They are not complete bad guys. They do cheer you on. They're just there to do their job, but they're also really good support to go to Canada and then come back to the United States as well.
I hear, I've never gotten a chance to run the international half. I've only ran the U.S. half, but I hear that it's so much fun. They're like playing music. They're talking about like Mounties and Tim Hortons, and as you're going across, it sounds like a blast going across the border.
It definitely is a lot of fun going across.
Yeah. So don't be nervous, don't be scared, just bring your passport, make sure your bib is showing, and you're good to go.
Right, and some of the ways that I've heard people carry their information is either in a spy belt or some sort of other running belt.
Or a roost sport we have, it kind of like goes to the side a bit. So there's, at the expo, there's a ton of different belt options. You can try them on to make sure that your passport is carried with you. Right,
and then the very cheap but functional way that I've also learned is the Ziploc bag taped with, I guess, duct tape on the underside of your bib, so you know that your information is safe. It's not going to get wet, and you know you're going to have it with you, and it's not going to interfere with your running.
I've heard duct tape and like packing tape, like serious tape. No tape for like
scotch tape.
No scotch tape.
No scotch. No masking.
Use big tape.
Yes.
Or get a belt and run with it.
I run with the belt. That's just the easiest way to make sure that it's not going to get lost.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we talked my big question. So your big question.
So my big question is parking.
Okay.
We know that we've talked about Saturday's parking, which is listed, but Sunday, I know from experience, road closures and traffic and everybody getting downtown and then trying to find parking areas and getting there and then getting to the start line on time is quite an undertaking for people that have run before as well as the first timers.
Yeah.
So what are your recommendations?
So my recommendations for parking, one, have a plan. If you've been to Detroit a lot, and you're like very comfortable with the city, especially when it's dark, because remember, start time is dark. If you're comfortable, great. Maybe you can play it a little bit more by ear, but if you're uncomfortable in the city, you're not quite sure where you're going, have a plan. Don't just come down here and think, I'll find a spot. Have a plan of, where you think you're going to go, how you're getting into the city. And then we have partnered with Spot Hero, which allows you to prepay for your spots in a few garages. And that is working so well for so many of our runners. So you're going to prepay for your spot. It's going to tell you when you can get in that spot. You're going to get the exact address for it or for the parking garage. And you're going to drive down, get in that parking garage, and you're good. So first step, have a plan. And I would recommend that plan is Spot Hero. Second plan, come down here early.
Yes.
And we hate telling people this because it's so early, but get down here pretty much as early as you can. We have to start closing roads down at 4. Some people always ask me, why do roads close at 4? The race starts at 7. Well, we have over 26 miles of road to close, and Unfortunately, we don't have a team of hundreds. We have a pretty small staff here. So we have to start closing roads pretty early to make sure that our course is safe and secure by the time you guys start running. So that's why we have to start closing roads so early.
Right, which actually is a good point, is closing the roads early is to help make sure that the course is safe and secure for the runners.
Trust me, you don't want us closing roads at like 6:30 because then we're not running.
Right. So the roads get closed early to help ensure that every runner is safe. It's not just an arbitrary time. It's to make sure that everything is really good and set up for everything.
And Tom, so you just commented that a lot of the garages open at 5, and that is true. So many of the garage opens at 5. We recommend getting down here right at 5, hang out in your car, find a coffee shop. If it's warm outside, then you can go outside, but like, just hang out, like get down here when the garage opens, and then, just kind of wait around for race day.
Right.
So tips for parking: have a plan, get down here early. Take a picture of your parking spot. If you parked in a lot, you found a lot, you paid some cash, you're awesome, good to go. Take a picture of it so that when you finished, you're a little sleepy, a little tired, you're kind of unsure of things, then you can just go to your phone and be like, oh yeah, I was at the corner of like Michigan and wherever, because when you go up to a volunteer and you say, where did I park? They're going to be like, I don't know.
Right.
So take a picture of your spot. Even if you carry some cash and you'll park in a lot, that's always sometimes a good option. There's a bunch of lots open outside of the course.
Yep.
So you can have cash, and then pretty much wherever you find a spot, you can go ahead and, however that person's managing the lot, park there and just take a picture of it so you know where you are, and then get yourself to the start line.
Right, and then even with taking a picture, I would take a picture of the actual lot and then the nearest cross street as well. Especially for those unfamiliar with Detroit, a lot of roads start looking very similar. And after you're done with the race, that's one of the last things you want to be doing is trying to find where did you park.
Or you can drop a pin on your iPhone and do that, or take a picture, or like write it down somewhere on your hand, or just know where you parked so you can get back to it. That's all.
Yep. And then the other point too that was brought up is what time the parking garage is open.
Oh yeah.
But you also need to be mindful of what time they close, because if I remember correctly, not every garage is open all day long. Some of them close like noon or 1 o'clock. I'm not. I know when I parked at Joe Louis one year, I had to sprint from the finish line of the marathon to the garage.
So you got your speed work in after you finished your race.
So I had to make it there because I didn't check to see what time the parking garage closed, and then I had to hurry up, get my car out before it got shut in.
So moral of the story: know where you're parking, know where it is in relation to the start-finish line, and then know what time you can get in and out of the garage. Right.
And the other thing, too, that I want to mention with parking is MGM parking garage. That one, even though it is free, correct?
Word of caution.
Word of caution. Here it comes. Getting in, you may be set. It's really close to the start and finish line. But the word of caution is it may take you the same amount of time to get out of that parking garage as it took you to finish your race.
Yes.
And that's just because it's a large parking garage, a lot of people trying to get in and out. And it's, if you do park there, make sure to have patience.
Yes. Pretty much anything with parking down here, you've just got to have some patience. I think Detroit is really like, because we've gone to like a few hockey games and a few football games, and like parking, just always have patience, always have a plan. Know that everyone is trying to get to the same spot you are, and you'll all get there at this time. Just relax before races. We don't want any nerves, any stress. So just make sure you know where you're parking and have patience, and kind of the more relaxed you are about it, probably the easier it will go for you and everyone else.
Yep. And then also, too, if you don't use the parking app that Leah mentioned, make sure to carry cash with you so that you are able to pay for parking and you have the correct amount so that you're not driving around with only $5 and everybody else has parking for $25.
Yeah. You don't want to be like finding an ATM at like 6:30 in the morning and you're expected in your corral,
Yes.
you know, in 5 minutes, and
Yep.
you've got to go to the bathroom still. You know, just give yourself enough time, because it's going to make all the world is if you show up prepared, not stressed. You have time to, you know, eat a little bit, drink some fluids, go to the bathroom. It's going to make your race days so much better.
Right.
So start off well. Start off with a parking plan.
Right. And so during the race on Sunday, since we have already talked about race on Saturday, we know that there are going to be free pictures this year?
Yes, free photos for all
That
runners.
is awesome. And will they be throughout the course or specific areas?
Yep,
or?
so we're going to have photographers stationed throughout the course. Very similar to last year, we've had photographers in the bridge area, Corktown area. So we've stationed a number of photographers along the course to make sure you get some pretty pictures. And then, of course, we'll have photographers at the finish line. So they're going to be taking all of those photos, and then after the race, you'll be able to get all your photos.
Very
for free,
nice.
Which
Free-
is really
free-
exciting.
Free is always exciting because
Yes.
they will not have any watermarks or anything. It'll be
No watermarks. We're going to put our logo on them because we're very proud of our race.
right.
But no watermarks, no more like doing like the you screenshot your race photo. Like,
Yep.
no more of that.
Yeah. So that'll be great. And then for the finish line, there's going to be. Is there still the live video? Where
I don't know if we're doing a live video this year. I know on Facebook we try to live stream as much as we can of it, so friends and family can see it. But the live stream, I'm not quite sure if we're doing that this year.
Okay. So we'll find out later for the race then.
But point about photos and people who may want to watch it, we are having an app this year. We're releasing the info soon, so that's really exciting. But the app is going to have all tracking info and all photos on it. So you'll be able to get your photos on desktop too, but app's pretty much the easiest way, and spectators can download the app to know where they are. Runners can download the app for all the race information, and then people tracking you obviously can download the app
So
too.
for clarification, this is different. This is a different app than previous
Correct.
years.
It's going to be our Detroit Free Press Chemical Bank Marathon app, and we'll have all the information for pretty much everyone shortly.
Oh wow, that'll be great.
Yeah, so it's exciting, and it'll have all your information there. So like no more going places. And then for photos, what's super cool about it is you can type in your bib number or your last name to find your photos, but you can actually upload a selfie, and it will like recognize your face to the photo, which is fun because some people, you know, they're running and their bib is like kind of a little crumpled. They're like the number, like the 9 looks like a 3. So through selfies, bib numbers, names, you'll be able to get all your photos.
That is really impressive.
No.
I don't know many other races that have the self-recognition like
It's
that.
a crazy world we're living in
That
nowadays.
is really cool. That'll really help too, especially for those running where half your body may not be showing because you're further back in the pack.
Yeah.
If you want to be able to get those pictures as well.
Yeah.
So let's talk about finish line.
Finish line.
Yes. Now that we've gone through Saturday, we've gone through Sunday. What can they expect at the finish line?
Okay, so finish line, my favorite thing to tell people is when you cross the finish line, I know you want to stop your garment, like I know you do, but don't do that. Don't make that the first thing. Like put your hands up, smile.
Yes.
What's most fun is practicing your finish line, like pose now. Like finish your long run this weekend and then like do a jump and see how it feels, or like put your hands up, because you want your free photo to be of you like smiling, not being like, click, I'm done.
Yep.
So one, smile. You're going to cross the finish line. You're going to get your medal, which is awesome this year. You're going to get your heat sheet, wear it like a cape. It's going to keep you warm.
Yep.
And then you're going to get a whole slew of finisher food. You're going to get fluids, chocolate milk, some pretzels, bananas. You're going to get a whole bunch of things. It's going to be in a bag, and you're going to make your way through the finish line, through the finish chute. No spectators are allowed in that area, so we're going to just move all the runners through, and then you're out of the finish line. You've done it.
Awesome. So they'll be able to get all that stuff. Will there be support if somebody has difficulty after crossing the finish line?
Yep. So medical, what medical's kind of, I don't know much about superheroes. Who's a superhero who's like always there, but like you never see them?
Ooh.
Is that like Batman?
Yeah, because nobody ever really sees Batman.
Because
he's in and out.
Okay, so our medical staff are pretty much like Batman. Like they're going to be all around the course, but they're all up and down the finish line. So if you are watching the finish line, you totally notice the medical staff because they're all around. But as a runner, I don't think, you've crossed a lot of finish lines and you're just so excited and there's so much going on that you don't always see them. But if you need any assistance, our medical staff is waiting for you in that finish line to help you with whatever it needs, whether it's, just your ankle hurts, you need a little help walking, to it's very serious, in which case we'll take care of that. So it ranges in that, and then we have a ton of volunteers there to make sure that you know where you are, what you're doing, where you're going, so you're never just left unattended in our finish line.
Okay, and then after they get through, will there be a specific area for them to get another picture?
Yes.
Okay.
So Concord, which is our official marathon after party, will be at 3rd and Lafayette. So we'll have a ton of maps for you. It's on our website. It's going to be in the participant guide. But Concord is where you can get some more photos taken. There's going to be a live band, live entertainment.
Nice.
I think it's something crazy like 5 grand in giveaways. So we're raffling off like 2019 entries, like Yeti mugs, like travel gear for stadiums, still in the tailgate theme because it's just what we like to do.
Yeah.
We're just raffling off like a ton of like gift baskets, prizes, photos. Relay reunion is there, gear check is there, so you can take more photos there, and then there's another photo stop in the finish shoot as well.
Okay, and then you did mention relay reunion, which we haven't talked about.
Oh,
relays.
The relay.
I forgot about you relay people. Sorry about that. How do people running the relays get to where they need to be?
Good question. So if you're running leg 1 of the relay, that means you start with everyone else on Fort Street. So you're going to start there at 7. If you're running leg 2, that means you're going to Canada. And you need to be on your bus by the posted time. All of the posted times are on our website. But if you miss that bus, you're not going to Canada because that bus has to get you through the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel before we close it for the runners. Leg 3 pretty much starts at the West End on Michigan Ave. So there's no transportation there because it's close to our start-finish. And leg 4 and 5 also have buses. So all of that information is on our website under relay. And if you're a relay runner, the most important thing to note is what leg you are and what time you have to be to the start of that leg. Because if you miss that, then you're running to get there. So if you're leg 2, you have to be on your bus by 6:15. If you're legs 4 or 5, 7. And when I say sharp, I mean sharp, like the sharpest cheddar you can find. You have to be on leg 2 bus by 6:15, leg 4 and 5 by 7.
That's really good to know.
Yes.
So that gets them to the locations, but if you're on one of the early legs, how do they get from the transfer spot back to the start-finish line?
We just bus them back.
Bus
so the
them back?
buses that took the people there just take the people back.
Okay. And then those people will all meet in the relay center part in Concord.
Yes. So that's where we'll have the relay food. I think we have a fun photo booth this year for relay in there. So it's a fun kind of spot to hang out with everybody. And we got a question about Concord. So the Concord after party opens at 8. Gear check, though, inside of Concord opens at 5:30. So if you're a runner and you want to drop off your gear, that opens at 5:30. Concord, the actual party, opens at 8.
Okay, for gear check, because we have a lot of first-time runners and they may not fully understand that process. Can you explain what that is?
Yep, so gear check is when you've got sweater, a hoodie, some extra shoes, whatever you bring, and you don't want to run with it. So you're going to check your gear. So when you go to the expo, you're going to get all of your stuff in a clear plastic bag with their logo on it. That's your gear check bag, so don't throw it away. At the bottom of your bib, there's going to be a little tear tag. So you're going to have your number, which is like, whatever, 1200, and then there's going to be a little number, 1200, on the bottom, and that's your gear check thing. So race morning, starting at 5:30, you're going to go to the gear check area. You're going to put all your stuff in that bag. You're going to hand it to a volunteer, and that volunteer is going to take that little tear tag and attach it to your bag so that your bag sits in the 1200 area with all the other bags, and then when you're done, you just go and you pick up your bag because your number will match it.
Right, and that's the gear check is something that is very useful for those wanting to have like warm clothes or something to change into, either shoes or socks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's already there for you at the finish line. You don't have to worry about going back to your vehicle or freezing or being too hot depending on race day conditions.
And even, exactly, even if it's a sweatshirt or something, I've seen a lot of people, they'll go to Salvation Army or a thrift store and they'll get just hoodies and like pants or whatever to wear, and they'll either gear check it so they have it, or they'll wear it as throwaway clothes. So throwaway clothes, when you're standing in the starting corrals, you're going to be there for a while. We suggest getting into your corral by 6:30. Race starts at 7, so you're standing around for a while, and you might get a little chilly. If it ever does get chilly in Michigan. And so throwaway clothes is you're all bundled up, and then it's time to run, and you're going to discard your clothes, and you're going to leave them to the side. And what happens is after everyone's gone, we collect all those clothes, and then we donate them to the Fort Street Presbyterian Church, their open door program. So their open door program allows for any people in need within the city who may need business clothes, shoes, anything like that, to come in and get a few pairs of pants, shirts, underwear, socks, whatever, to get the clothes that they need. So all of our outerwear clothes, our sweaters and our pants and stuff like that go to the open door program.
Right, and all the clothing collected throughout the race. It's not just at the start line that clothing will be collected. It's anywhere along the course. If you do discard a piece of clothing, it will be going there. We
ask that you don't just like randomly toss stuff. Like think about where you're throwing it. Like in the Sterling, obviously that's where we have our volunteers. Just don't toss it like into a yard. Like, if there's already a pile going, like toss it at the pile.
Yep. I was thinking of something else.
Well, we've got a few questions, so we'll answer those. So Chelsea's asking, for the full marathon, do you have to go on Friday to get your bib, or can you go on Saturday as well?
So if you're just running the full marathon, you can go on Saturday as well.
Yep. So if you're running any of the races except the challenges, you can go Friday or Saturday to pick up your bib. So Friday's hours at the expo are 2 till 8, and Saturday's hours are 10 till 7. And then Tony is asking, are you guys having different swag for the people who are doing the challenges? So the extra swag this year is a pint glass. So if you're doing a challenge, you're going to get all these shirts and medals of the races that you signed up for. So for those running the Supreme, for example, they're going to get 3 shirts and 3 medals and 1 goodie bag. And then you're also going to get a little special pint glass that will have like the name of it and everything. And we've got some special, we always give out distance stickers that are goodie bags. And you'll get a special distance sticker that says you're like 17.2 or whatever the larger number is. I'm not good at math that well.
I think that would be 26, 29.
29 plus 1. 30.3?
30.3, I think.
30.3.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll go with 30.3.
30.3 sounds right.
Yeah.
So you're going to get some fun little swag. And then in the New Balance area where the official gear is, that's when you can pick up like any additional Detroit Marathon gear. They have a ton of awesome like hats, mugs, jackets, shirts, stuff like that. So a lot of fun shopping at the expo.
Yes, and especially too, I know that the pins are a hot collector's item. Those a lot of people collect and they put on a board so that they can have multiple years show up. It's really small and a lot of people
At the New
seem
Balance booth?
for the logo pins for the race each year.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people I've seen actually have a row of them so that they can display it, and it doesn't take up that much room.
Yeah, so we hand out pins to our volunteers every year. That's a thank you for all of our volunteers get shirts and a pin and an invite to our volunteer thank you party, which is a good segue that
Yes.
if you're not running and you still want to get involved, or even if you're running but you want to still help out, we do still have volunteer spots available. We're looking for volunteers for our Saturday night expo shift. So that's handing out goodie bags, shirts. Saturday, we still need people to help with our races. So that's Saturday morning around 7-ish in Milliken State Park. And then Sunday, we start looking for course monitors, some finish line people, some fluids. So if you're interested in volunteering or you have friends and family who are coming down who kind of want to do more than just spectate, send them over to our website. Just look up volunteers and have them help us. It's tons of fun.
Yeah, it definitely is, and especially if you're only running on Sunday, you've got Saturday or Friday. You'll be coming down to pick up your information. It definitely is a good time to try helping out since you're already in the area.
Yeah.
Might as well get involved and help out other runners.
So Victor's asking, when do runners find out the
Yes.
corral assignments at bib pickup?
Yes, that actually kind of combines with another question that somebody else had asked. When did they find out their bib numbers?
So bib numbers will be sent out next week, most likely Tuesday, Wednesday-ish. And then you'll find out your corral when you pick up your bib at the expo. So you're going to get your bib, it's going to have a big number, and then on the bottom right-hand side is your corral.
Yep.
So this year we're, whatever corral is on there, we will be checking bibs to make sure that you're going into the right corral. There's a few reasons why we do this. One, we want to make sure that the flow of runners is very even. We want to make sure that there's no walkers with the runners for the safety of both parties. We want to make sure that people aren't jostled or getting tossed around. So whatever corral you were assigned to for a reason. It was based on either your pace that you put in, or if you're in one of the faster corrals, we were able to verify time. So it's based on what your previous times were. If you need to change your corral, not a big deal. You go to the information booth at the expo, they're going to have a ton of stickers, and you're going to find the correct corral you're supposed to be in, and then you'll just get a new sticker.
Right, and so people, obviously with the corral assignments, they can't move up, but they are able to move back?
Yeah, so if you get to the expo and you're corral B, but the friend you're running with is corral D, you can always move down to D. We don't care about that. Your friend can't move up to B. If your friend thinks they can move up to B and they've been training really hard, which we totally understand, people are shaving off half hours here and there, just see us at the info booth and we'll make sure you're in the right corral.
Right, excellent.
Yeah, and then the pacers, we'll also have a list of the pacers, which will be in which corral, and our pacers will be at the expo too, so you can meet some pacers and learn more about our pace teams.
Which I know that we're jumping back from the finish line back into the race. So pacers, they will be easily identified throughout the entire course?
Yes. So pacers are always holding a sign with their predicted pace and everything on there. They're wearing normally some pacers dye their hair pink. They do something crazy, but they're always identifiable by their sign. A lot of the pacers will be at the expo, so you can meet your pacer there. Pace teams are free. My first race, I didn't know what a pace team was, and I thought I had to pay for this service, so I didn't run with the pace team. They're totally free. These people are just there to help you. They're there to chat with you, talk with you, point out things to you like fluid stations. They're just there to kind of help you. So don't be afraid of the pace team. Don't think it's only for serious runners who are qualifying for Boston. I'm running with a pace team. Anybody can run with a pace team. It's free, and I highly recommend it. And if you start with a pacer, you don't have to end with that pacer. You can start with the 2:30 pacer. Hey, I'm feeling really good. I'm gonna go ahead. Go ahead. If you want to drop back, that's totally fine. So, just check out the pace team and see if it's for you.
So I do remember the question I was going to ask that is also seems to be a popular question within the Facebook group. The closing of the course and the sweeper bus, or the last bus, I guess, that goes along the course. What times should people be looking for, and how do they avoid being picked up?
So there's a few things. If you're, very concerned about it, don't be. We have a last chance pacer, who is the guy walking the very minimum pace that you need to meet, which I believe is about like a 16.5, 17-minute mile.
It's very generous.
Yeah, he's hitting all of his milestones. Just stick with him. Again, he's there to talk with you, support you. So, just run with him, and it will be fun. So there's the Last Chance Pacer, and then we also have a Weary Wagon, which follows the Last Chance Pacer. So if for some reason you can't complete the course, or you got injured, that Weary Wagon will pick you up and then move you back to the start-finish line, so you aren't just left stranded. We do ask that you stay in front of that Weary Wagon and with that Last Chance Pacer, just to make sure that you're meeting all of those milestones, which one can be found on our website, and two will be in the participant guide that you're going to get at the expo.
Right, and then working our way back from the Weary Wagon, the times that people have to cross the Ambassador Bridge and come back through the Windsor Tunnel.
Yeah, so those are all on our website. If you look up milestones, you'll find them, and we'll show what time you need to be at every place. But let that pacer worry about it. If you're very worried, just do the best you can, run your race. You've put in all the training, you've got this, just go with what you can, and then, when you get to that Last Chance Pacer, just keep up with them, and you'll be good.
Right. And that is one of the main things about this race is they do a lot so that you as a runner can be successful at your race. There's nothing, not very many requirements once you're out on the race course that you have to do that would prevent you from not having a successful race.
And the course is stocked full of entertainers and spirit stations and spectators. So if you're really worried, which, I was very worried for my first half, you always run faster on race day. It's weird, but you always do. So don't be too worried, because you might, really surprise yourself with how you'll do.
Right, and then speaking of course entertainment, I do know that a lot of people like to run with headphones or earpods. I know that from experience, especially with this course, there are a lot of live entertainment bands that are really good and really fun to listen to. So at least for myself, I wouldn't recommend running with it, but from the race perspective, is there anything preventing people if they don't want to listen to the live entertainment?
We know that runners do like running with headphones. It's very common, we're aware of that. If you do run with headphones, we just really implore you to be aware of your surroundings. Even if it's just running with one or like lower. So if you do need to hear any emergency vehicles, runners behind you, fun things like entertainment, just so you're aware of what's happening and that you're not just running blindly with a few thousand other people around you. So that's kind of our stance on that. We understand runners run with them. Obviously, we want them to listen to the spectators and the entertainment stations, but we just ask that you're very aware of what's going on around you.
Right.
So we do have another question from Victor. Are there recommended suggested spectator cheer zones? So you've had probably family come down. Where did you tell them to go?
Actually, I've always come down by myself.
Oh.
But I do know that one of the spots that, even for myself, when I ran the marathon, that seemed to be a good spot for people to come out and cheer is Belle Isle, because you're running out there and it always seems like a dead zone, because you're just out there. You're almost done with the race, but you need that extra boost. So I would highly recommend somebody, if you're running the full marathon, out on Belle Isle.
Yeah. or even like at the entrance to that bridge.
Yes.
So that bridge is the MacArthur Bridge, and you're going to go like on the MacArthur Bridge to Belle Isle, and then you're going to go off the bridge. So you can be stationed there. Another good spot is at the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel on Jefferson. So there's a whole like welcome back to the USA sign. You're coming out of the tunnel. It's tons of fun there. And Mexican Town is also really good.
Yep.
Bagley area. And then Corktown is good.
Yep.
So like the Michigan Avenue area is always good to watch from.
And then even from previous experience volunteering at this race for a course marshal, Mile 9, which isn't that far from the Windsor Tunnel, that area is definitely a hot spot for people to come out and cheer, and is another spot that I'd recommend.
Yeah. And in the participant guide that you'll get when you pick up your bib, we have a list of good spectator viewing areas too.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. So we've got from Rachel, what's the easiest way for family to get from spectator spot by the tunnel to the international half finish line? So for that, I would recommend pretty much walking. It's probably only like a half mile from it.
Not bad.
So have them go cheer on Jefferson, and then they can go kind of like up Woodward and cross over the course at Griswold, and then they can get to the finish line to see everybody. So for spectators, we really recommend walking. Unless you're going like out to Belle Isle or kind of more into Mexican Town, you can always rent one of the bikes. They're called Mogos. You have all these new scooters now.
Yep.
So, be warned if you're a scooter person. But in the like downtown core area, we just recommend spectators walking everywhere.
Right.
And cheering lots. Like bring a cowbell, because you're gonna get like hoarse from cheering.
Will there be cowbells at the expo?
There will be cowbells at the expo.
I love the cowbells.
Yes. So come see Chemical Bank. They're gonna be the first spot that you get to the expo. They're gonna have fun stickers and cowbells. They do go fast though.
Yes.
So
I was going to mention that.
We can't order like 50,000 cowbells, but we have thousands of cowbells. But you have to get there early to get your cowbell.
Last year I actually missed out because I got to the expo too late.
Oh.
But the previous years I was so excited I was able to get them, and they're a lot of fun.
Yeah. The expo is so much fun because there's so many cool vendors. There's like from the cowbells, we'll have a cheer card station. So if you're bringing friends or family or kids, a lot of the vendors will have cheer cards available, so you can like decorate your cheer cards. We've got DMC there, so they'll have information for everybody if you're worried for race day. Run Detroit does a course preview video. Gazelle Sports is there with Lydiard, which is our official training partner. New Balance is there with all the official gear. Like, it is a blast. Wear your walking shoes because it's a big expo.
It's a big expo, and chances are you will get warm in there. So if you do have a coat or something, make sure that you have layers so that you're able to take it off, because there is a lot of cool things to look at and go through.
Yep, and we've got, we put up a countdown clock, so it will say, like, how many hours till race day, and you can, take a picture with your bib and the countdown clock, and it's tons of fun. And it's just so exciting to kick off race weekend with everybody. Yeah. Okay, so another question. I did the 5K last year, but I can't remember, do we get a race bib number before the Run Expo? And she's wondering about the corral.
Yep.
So you're going to get your bib and your corral at the expo. So head to the expo. You're going to pick up your bib, and the corral letter will be on your bib. If you need to change your corral, visit the information booth, and our race ambassadors can help you.
Awesome. And then I think the last popular question that I've seen come across is crossing the Ambassador Bridge and the Windsor Tunnel. I know from previous experience it can get congested, especially going on the Ambassador Bridge, because it is wonderful. You are able to see the sun come up, if it's not cloudy, obviously, but you're able to see sunrise over the Detroit River, which is really awesome. But what can people do to try avoiding being caught up in the stop and go?
So there's two things. One is to be a friendly and kind participant. So we totally understand that you want to take pictures on the bridge. We get it.
Yep.
Don't run and then stop and then take a picture. If you want to take a selfie, if you want to take a picture, we aren't going to blame you. But like, throw up a hand, say you're slowing down, and move off to the side to get that picture. It's going to look just as good, and that way the runners who are running or going can like flow around you more. So one, just be cognizant of how often you're taking the pictures. If you're like stopping in the middle of the course and like taking a picture, like just know to move off to the side, and then like, you know, look behind you so you can join back up with the crowd of people. No big deal. If you're scared of heights at the bridge, just don't run on the edge then. Run in the middle. There's going to be tons of people with you, so put a few bodies between you and the edge. That's going to make it a little bit better. And just like watch the sunrise, and it'll be over before you know it. It really will. Like if you look at the sunrise, the two skylines, you know, think about where you are, and you're probably going to be like on the downhill by the time you realize like what you're doing.
Right. And the other trick I learned too is try to focus, if you are scared of the heights, try to focus on the person in front of you, because if you're looking straight ahead, chances are you're not going to remember you're running on a bridge or exactly where you are. It's just part of the race and somebody's running in front of you.
Yeah. And so for the tunnel, if you're claustrophobic, so the kind of like the opposite, like if you're scared of heights, the bridge is terrifying. If you're claustrophobic, the tunnel's hard. There's not really like, I can't tell you like, oh, just look ahead because it's just a tunnel. But just know that you're going to get through it. It's about a mile. Think about your mile times. Think about, hey, maybe I'm just going to zip through this. Like it's my underwater mile. I'm going to get out of here. So just, you know, deep breaths, enjoy it. There's going to be people hooting and hollering because the tunnel echoes. So, you know, like smile, join in. It will be fun. Again, a lot of people will stop right in the middle that says, there's a sign that says like Canada and US, and it's got the flags. If you're taking a picture, awesome. Just step to the side so you don't block the course. And then it's going to get probably a little toasty in the tunnel because you're obviously underwater and you're in an enclosed space. So you're gonna like want to like shed every layer you have, like your gloves. You're gonna want to throw away. Don't throw them away. Take off your layers. Do not throw them away because you're gonna exit that tunnel and it's gonna be a teensy bit chilly outside. So just keep your stuff. If you need it, then you're gonna have it, because if you're gonna toss all your clothes in the tunnel and you're gonna get back outside, you're gonna be really sad you tossed those clothes. So don't toss your clothes.
Yes.
Just breathe through it all. It will be fine. Just know that thousands of other runners have done it, and you can do it too. And those are my suggestions for the bridge and tunnel.
Right. And I do agree with not shedding all your clothes, because when you do get out of the tunnel, chances are the temperature is going to be quite different by the time you get out, and it'll wake you up real fast.
But we will have a fluid station right outside of the tunnel. So we have a fluid station right along Jefferson, and then at mile 9 we have another fluid station and our cliff station. So you're never far from fluids. But you have another question: is it too late to join a pace group? His pace has improved. Congratulations. He's been training with Gazelle. Good job.
Excellent.
So, no, it's not too late to join a pace group. It's never too late. You can either join them on race day, like in their corrals. You can meet with them. The pace team, it's not like you have to, like, sign a waiver and you're like, I'm running with you all day. You just find your pacer, and then you can run with them. And if you want to go ahead, you can. If you want to fall behind, you can. And you can meet a lot of our pacers at the expo. So head to the expo, meet with the pacers, get some more information, and then on race day you can, of course, run with a pacer.
Right, and that's even important during the race. If you start to feel really good, you want to speed up, there will be another pacer that you could seek in front of you, or even if you're not feeling as good, you can
just fall behind.
You can fall behind, and there will be another pacer somewhere along those lines.
Okay, so Anne is asking, do we have to empty our water bottles if we are carrying them when we cross the borders? So, one, we recommend let us worry about the water for you. We have pretty much a fluid station every mile and a half that's going to be stocked with Abs Pure water and lemon lime Gatorade. So if you're comfortable, let us worry about your fluids. You might as well take our fluids that we've provided.
Yep.
We understand that some runners do want to carry their own fluids. So in that case, a lot of runners do wear like the little, like the low water bottles and
Yep.
the belts. Those are normally fine. The bad thing, or the thing to avoid, are like the camelbacks, the huge things that look like backpacks. Because at the end of the day, we are crossing internationally.
Yes.
Border does reserve the right to question people or if things look suspicious. So it kind of depends what you're comfortable with. Just be comfortable dumping your fluids if you are carrying them. You might be fine, but at the end of the day, it's up to the border's discretion.
Right, which is important to distinguish. It's up to the border's discretion. It's not something that the race themselves looks to do for the runners.
Yeah. Okay, so we got another. Can you tell us what miles the porta potties are at? So a good rule of thumb, we place porta potties almost directly after each fluid station. So there's porta potties at the start, and then after every fluid station, there's porta potties. They're a little bit away because we don't want the porta potties next to the fluids because that
Right.
make it a little gross.
Yeah.
But there's porta potties after each fluid station.
It's very good to know.
Yes. Yeah, and I think we've answered everyone's questions so far.
Yeah.
Good questions.
Yeah, very good questions.
We like questions. That means that everyone's like preparing for race day.
Yep, and I'm trying to see if there's any other questions I can remember, because I know there's been a lot of good questions posted.
I think that might be it.
I think that's all of them.
Yeah. Well, thanks
Yeah.
for joining,
Yeah,
and
thank you.
all for joining us. And it's just 2 weeks away, so
Yeah.
how are you feeling? Are you ready?
I'm definitely ready. I'm looking
You're
forward.
ready to run that Supreme.
I'm looking forward to being able to say I finished the Supreme and ran my 30.3 miles.
30.3. We're gonna have to like check the math on that. 30.3.
Although, for the sake of it being Detroit, somehow we should find a way to get it up to 31.3.
Yeah.
That would be real nice, real fitting. But I think it's
We'll have
30.
to add another mile.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could go like run an extra mile and just do like a
That's
little
true.
extra.
Maybe have a cool down mile
Yeah.
challenge.
Yeah, we'll make an
Yeah.
extra sticker for you.
Yes, there we go.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining
Yep,
us.
thank you.
And we'll see you soon.
All right, great. Thank you. Bye.